All right, so in the last video, I was upgrading the suspension to the QA1 handling kit, and I found my power steering gearbox was leaking oil. As you can see all over the floor, we got a nice little puddle. So to correct that, we've gone ahead and got a Detroit Speed and Engineering 12/7-to-1 gearbox. They claim this is the closest thing to a rack and pinion feel to upgrade the handling, would go along with the QA1 suspension. So not to mention the fact that this is also supposed to be lighter, and I am trying to save some weight. So let's see what it looks like inside here. So here's the new unit from Detroit Speed. It's their own casting. It's definitely much smaller in shape and structure than what I have on here right now. I'm not sure how much lighter this is, but I believe it was 7 pounds lighter for this option over the other newer style unit they had. Well, with the gearboxes side by side here, dimensionally, this one is smaller. However, weight-wise, we're not saving a whole bunch. This one comes in at 25 pounds, and the factory unit was only 26.5. So I'm only saving a pound and a half, which I thought it was going to be more than that. I must have read that wrong. I thought it was supposed to be like 7 pounds. Either way, this is definitely a much better performance unit. And the only other issue I'm having is this has inverted flare type fittings, and this has the newer style metric O-ring style fittings. So I have to get adapters to be able to put it in. I am going to hit it with some clear coat and just leave it cast iron. Well, I went ahead and I put some clear coat on the steering gear, got it mounted up in here, and I went ahead and I pulled this all out. I'm going to quick take it to the power washer at the car wash and get this all cleaned up so I can repaint it, because it looks like the paint's all chipping off everywhere and it's all greasy. None of the parts feel loose, so I am going to reuse all the tie rod ends and the center link, but the new gearbox is installed with the QA1 suspension. All right, so after I took the front suspension to the power wash and got all the grease off of it, I came back, hit it with a coat of fresh black paint. Looks pretty good. I have my new adjusting sleeves installed, and I also installed the rear coilovers. So the rear is all set. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna have height clearance problems till I get it out and drive it. It doesn't look too bad sitting here. Obviously the wheel does stick out past the wheel well edge, and I don't have it rounded or anything. Yeah, we'll have to see. The only issue I'm really worried about, like if the car's empty, I think I'd be all right, but I do put a lot of weight in this car, especially when I take it on week-long vacations and long travels with all my stuff. So due to the fact that we have pretty cold weather right now, the next step is probably going to be to get the hood back on this. I have a couple other projects I got to look at the moment. I definitely have some more plans coming before the power tour. We're down to about 100 days from now, and I want to get some seats looked at, steering wheel. I've gotten some people calling me out for not putting badges back on the car. I got to be perfectly honest. If you notice, the mirrors are a different color. I drove this car for years with the mirrors missing just because I didn't care, and it's a burnout car to me. It was never really a show car, but it would make it look nicer to have the badges. And I've actually held on to this in my toolbox for 25 years since it hasn't gone back on the car since I painted it. The only problem is I only had one. So because I was missing one and this one had some like red overspray on it, I just never put it back on. I'm going to buy a set of them. They're like 65, 70 bucks, and put that badge back on, because I did leave the holes in the fender with the intent on fixing it. I just never got around to doing it. I think I am going to put the flaming chicken on the hood, so we'll have to wait and see what we do. Well, we don't have an alignment rack, a couple straight edges, and a couple tape measures, and I got my toe set, so should be good enough to drive. I'll probably have it taken in and get it put on an alignment rack so we can get everything set up correctly, but I just did that as a rudimentary way to make sure the steering wheel is straight and I can take it for a spin as soon as the weather gets a little nicer. Well, the sunny day I've been waiting for is finally here. We're going to take the Firebird for its first drive with the new suspension, and I'm going to go pick up my 85 Firebird from the storage unit and switch out cars because I want to do a little work to that one. Looks good out in the sun. Let it warm up a little bit. Probably put the new sticker on it too because the plates are expired, but we're not going very far today. Well, it's the first test drive with the Firebirds of 2026. So I'm going to find out how good the suspension actually is. Hopefully this thing drives like a dream, but we're not going to go very far. I'm going to go pick up a different car. And it's still pretty chilly out, but the street should be pretty clean from the salt. We did have a big rainstorm that came in and cleaned it up. I wish I would have drove the car right before I changed the steering just to see the difference, because I haven't driven the car since October. But it does seem like it turns quite a bit sharper than it did. It feels stiffer too, like it's heavier, which would make sense if it's turning sharper. So, all right, well, I'm off for my first test drive. Actually, I hear a noise. You know what I might not have done? I might not have torqued my wheels. I'm turning around. Well, the noise I actually heard is the emergency brake cable is rubbing on the tire. I'm gonna have to do something about that. However, I was right that I did not get the front lug nuts tight. So let's do that before we get off of our street here. All right, well, I'll have to do something better about it. So I used a bright yellow zip tie to remind me, but it's not hitting the wheel anymore. And the front tires are now tight. I'm not sure how I messed that up because I know I've gone over all the suspension bolts 3 times just to make sure they were all tight. And then I forget to tighten up the wheels. All right, hopefully now we have no noises. Well, I will say it's a bit bouncy in the car, so I'm gonna have to adjust the valving on the shocks. But I did pretty good on the alignment because I can let go of the steering wheel and it's driving straight. And I know it says GMC, which is why I need to upgrade that steering wheel. But I did just like the design of this wheel better than the one I had in here. So, but I'd say it's driving great. First drive went really well. The alignment's pretty close for just doing it that way. However, I do have a squeak in this wheel. So something's making a noise there. Not sure. Definitely have to look at that. Other than that, drove really good. Now I got to see if my 85 will start up, because we're going to go and do a little bit of work to this and try and sell it. So that way I can get new seats for that car. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put the 79 in the garage, and we're going to take the 85 home. I've got some things to do to this to make it ready to sell.